You did Rock the Bells?
Mm-hmm.
When Rock the Bells came out, I was like, what the fuck is this? You guys don't understand what you were doing to us in Virginia.
Let's take a couple of breaths.
Okay?
Thankful to be here. All good.
Very.
So what you been listening to lately? Anything exciting?
I feel like there's like a couple songs here and there, but for the most part, you know, I just like to be intrigued.
So tell me what intrigued looks like for you.
Intrigue for me is, first of all, this moment is intriguing. Doing this with you right now, that's intriguing. But for me, musically, I feel like I'm not one of those guys that are like, you know, oh, this is a 9/8 time signature. This is amazing. That just feels like math to me. I think I get blown away by chord progressions that make me feel something I've never felt before. Mm. Like, to me, chords are coordinates.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They like send you to a place.
Beautiful.
And when I'm lucky enough to be in the right elevator, you know, I'm looking up and I'm doing three things at once. I'm going, what is that? Mm-hmm. Number two, I'm trying to like remember the feeling, because when I go to chase it later, I'm gonna have to reverse engineer the feeling in order to get to the chord structure. Mm-hmm. And third, to just back it up by trying to Shazam it right then and there.
How great is Shazam?
Shazam is a gift.
Yeah, game changer.
Game changer.
Yeah. So if you find one, what do you do with it? Let's say you hear something in that moment, you have that experience, you've Shazammed it.
Yeah.
Next, what happens?
I just want to listen to it over and over and over again. Mm. And really understand what I'm feeling and why I feel that way. Because there's a whole like university of science between what's being played and what you're hearing.
Yes. So you're analyzing yourself as much as the music.
Yeah. Because if you don't, then you're not really getting the proper assessment of what's happening. If I'm hearing something, but I'm not paying attention to how I'm feeling, then for me, I don't know what I'm listening. That's my GPS of understanding. That's how I process things, is how I feel. Mm-hmm. That everything is cataloged by and categorized by the feeling of it. If I can't see how I feel about it, then I don't even really know what it is. It's just music.
So just you don't have to give me a specific example, but what would be the kind of things that you'd be on the elevator that would stop you in your tracks? Again, you don't have to be specific, but how would you describe what you're hearing?
I'll take it outside of music terms. It's kind of like being at a table with several people. You're in a conversation with someone, and all of a sudden, you realize you've drifted off in thought, and this person is still talking. You hear their voice, but you now no longer know what they're saying.
Yes.
Because you're not connected to, you're not plugged in.
Yes.
To the conversation.
Yes.
So now it's just a bunch of vocal tone.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. If my feeling is not connected to the song, then I don't really know what I'm listening to. Couldn't really tell you what it was.
When you're working on music with other artists, are you always working on it with them in mind, or are you working on your favorite music and then, depending on who you're collaborating with, it may or may not apply to them?
I'm always channeling other people. Usually the person that I'm working with, I'm sort of channeling them. Other times, I think that they should be channeling someone else, so I'll do that for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they may not suspect that it will sound good on them. 60% of the time, they don't do it. 40% of the time, people just trust and try it.
Mm-hmm.
And within that 60% of the time, it goes to someone else who absolutely gets it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the universe works.
Yeah.
Like, there are all these triggers, and not all of the ending results will be what you think it's supposed to be. It's what was written.
Yes. If you're, this speaks a little bit to something you just said. If you're working with an artist and you have a difference of opinion with the artist over something you're working on, what would normally happen?
Oftentimes, I take off my ego hat when I'm in the studio. So a lot of times, there's this thing that happens where it's like people respect, for the most part, like sometimes most people assume like people respect others that they idolize. But I found that people, while they do sometimes, but I found that people really respect the person that they kind of feel like is the alpha in their rapport, in this newfound rapport. But most producers, they kind of like, no, I'm the alpha. Like, you know how many records I've sold.
Yeah.
When truth be told, we've not sold anything. We've only made music and people chose to stream it and share it and buy it, whatever. We're not responsible for it, our success. There's
Agreed.
Millions of people who are responsible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But when you do that, like, oftentimes you run the risk of them just all of a sudden just being like, man, I went from like trembling in my boots, talking to my parents about being so excited to be in the room with this guy to like, I run the show. And so when we get to that place that you're talking about, when there's a subtle disagreement, this is when I still leave my ego hat like hung up at the door. But that's when I say, maybe you should try this, or you know what, if you do that, it's probably going to be what you've been doing. And my job is to nudge you, to poke and prod and pull you in places that you would not go so that you can get a different result. Because if you do the same things, you're just going to make another one of those really well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's when they have to trust you. And that's that same kind of very subtle trust of when someone says, oh, you snore in your sleep. But you're one of those people that doesn't snore and wake yourself up. You just snore in a certain hour or whatever. You just don't know.
Yes.
It's one of those subtle things that you just got to trust, that someone sees something that you can't see.
Yes.
Another example of what those subtleties is like, you hear yourself talk all day, and then you hear yourself on a voicemail and you sound completely different. And you hate what you hear, right? But everybody else hears the same thing.
Yes.
But you hate that.
Yes.
Well, the difference is because we're listening through the cavity of our head. But they're, again, these people who don't notice those subtle differences, they rule that out. So if they can trust you enough
Yes.
to know that you can see, hear, or feel something that is way too close for them to discern, then you guys have the ingredients for like something new to come.
Yes. How often would you say that happens? Is it typical on most projects, or once in a while, or once in a blue moon?
Every time I go in with Kendrick, he transforms, but he gets that. He knows he's his next man. He's super clear about that. Ariana trusted. Jay-Z gets it. He's always gotten it. I mean, people don't realize he's been making records since the 80s. That's unheard of.
What's the first record you made with him?
Got a lot of records together. I think it was Give It To Me. I think that was the first one.
Let's say you were going into the studio tomorrow with a new artist you never worked with before. What would a typical first day be like? Or is there a typical first day?
It's what they come in talking about. It's what they happen to be actually going through. So what they're talking about at that particular moment. It's what they happen to be going through. And it's a new way that I can use their voice, like a juxtaposition to what they usually do. Like if we were comparing their voices to textures, if they had a like satin voice, what would it sound like against granite versus, cotton? If they have like a crazy like diamond voice, what does it sound like, dropped in Jello? Like, how do I mix the sensory? How do I mix the sensories together?
Usually when you start a project, do you come in with any ideas or thoughts before it starts, or do you start with like a blank slate?
A lot of times I'll come in with like 2 or 3 ideas.
And might those be conceptual ideas or tracks?
Tracks.
Do you make tracks often?
Yeah.
And do you make tracks regardless of thinking about where they're going to go?
Sometimes I think about where they're going to go to get them out, to like...
Just to make them?
Yeah, I have to channel.
Yeah.
I channel all the time. I'm always pretending I'm someone else in order to get it to come out. Because I just feel like I'm the best version of myself is, as a producer, is I'm like a mirror for people. I try to show them sides of themselves that they don't ever use. It's like when people take selfies, they only use like one side all the time. So I'm the guy that's like, hey, God made another side. Like, it's very interesting. You should try it.
Let's come up with a hypothetical example. Name an artist you liked from childhood, someone you listened to as a kid. Can you tell me someone?
Stevie Wonder.
Okay. So if you were producing a Stevie Wonder album, what would be your first instincts in making a Stevie Wonder project that you would want to listen to? What would it be?
That's kind of difficult because he's done so many different genres. I mean, his reggae was amazing. His disco was amazing. His ballads were unbelievable. His Parisian, Burt Bacharach, bossa nova stuff was amazing. So maybe let's use somebody else.
Okay.
I guess I only like eclectic people. Because I was going to say Earth, Wind, and Fire, but like they did a lot of stuff
Evolves. Too. Absolutely. I like a couple of non-eclectic groups. I like the Ramones, and I wouldn't want them to be different.
Yeah, they were really good at that thing.
Yeah. But more often than not, I like watching the evolution and growth.
Maybe Prince.
That's a good one. So what would the Pharrell produced Prince project, what would be different about it?
Maybe it'd be interesting to hear him do like Afro-Cuban.
Be incredible.
Be something else, yeah.
It's a great idea. Beyond Stevie and Prince, who would have been the music you listened to growing up?
Earth, Wind, and Fire. James Brown.
Did you grow up in a musical household?
They played a lot of music all the time.
Brothers and sisters?
Yes. music was just like in our environment. It was just like in the environment, and like going to church all the time, you know, like between getting in the car and listening to the music in the car, listening to music at home and at church, like it was always something.
You grew up in Virginia?
Yes, sir.
And what was the music you listened to in the car? What was the station?
On the FM side, it was K94. On the AM side, it was AM 850. And everything from Rick James, Give It To Me, to Thriller, to Another One Bites the Dust, to Chuck Brown's Bustin' Loose. I mean, it was a wide range. It just...
Was there much did go-go make it to Virginia?
Oh my goodness.
Really?
Go-go was the second sound of Virginia.
Wow.
It was everything.
Wow.
Everything.
Do you ever go to the go-go?
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
That's a world.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to me because it's such a pocket that if you go outside of DC, northwise, like to New York, like you wouldn't know anything about it.
No.
If you go, but when you go down south, you could find some of it in Delaware. You could find a little bit of it in Maryland, but not much. And Virginia was just big. And the Carolinas, it was big. It was a world. It's a world.
When I first heard it, it completely blew my mind. Completely. It felt like it was the next, like after hip hop, the next wave.
Yeah.
It felt like that.
Yeah.
It felt like that.
Well, you guys produced a lot of records with that sound.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You did Rock the Bells?
Mm-hmm. Haven't heard it in a while, but hope it holds up.
That's crazy, bro. I'll never forget where I was when I heard Rock the Bells for the first time. We were over my cousin's house out in Norfolk. And I got a cousin named Fifi. And my mom and dad used to go over their house over the weekends. We would just go over there to play cards. Well, they would go over there to play cards. I didn't know how to. They would play like spades. But when Rock the Bells came out, I was like, what the fuck is this? Because we love go-go.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like these New York guys with this like go-go sound. And then like L was like the coolest. He had the crazy chains. You guys don't understand what you were doing to us in Virginia. It was a whole thing. It was like, you know how bad I wanted a troop jacket? Like how bad I wanted a troop jacket. I wanted those chains. The music just literally transformed. It was doing things to our minds, shifting our perspectives, making us dance, making us run to the television to watch Yo MTV Raps for a glimpse of anything, any kind of slang.
Yeah.
We savored it because those records were so good.
Wow. People don't remember how hard it was to hear rap music.
No.
It was the underground of the underground.
Yes.
It was a tiny subculture.
Really tiny.
Yeah.
But he's super huge.
Yes, but also tiny.
Yeah. They did a lot to try to suppress it, but the white kids loved it too much. And there was no, hate to make it racial, but that's what changed it, right? We've been professed our love for it. You guys been making it. But You just couldn't, you know, they couldn't suppress that. It just was too big. It was just too strong. It was too beautiful. And it was igniting people in a way.